Hey guys, Pump One Environmental with you here. We are releasing our new field test station that we are providing you guys with and we have for sale. And we're just going to take a minute to show you guys the functionality of this test station and as well as how to operate and the different procedures to go through when you're following in your manual that you can refer back to this video for some questions. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop our pump in. We're just using our stainless steel fast fittings here that we sell with our pumps, and that's how the hoses will be rigged up when you get them to accommodate the fast fittings. But all the hoses, everything that you see here is provided with the test station. So the first things first, this is kind of like your on-off switch for the test station. It's just basically your air, and you can see that we have compressed air coming to this, and it's very important to keep this regulator off. For one thing, it prevents any kind of hazards as far as basically you're having compressed air and the feeding the pump, and then any hoses popping loose or anything like that. You can prevent that by having this regulator off. And I guess before we go any further, I just want to take a minute to say it's very important here to make sure that you have eye protection in operating this test station, just because we're going to be dealing with compressed air at a pretty high rate. So once he's got this pump in, basically, if you didn't notice, he turned his air on and his regulator was off. So he just basically turned it on and he turned it up to about 40 PSI. Once this is on, he's going to open up his valve here, slow discharge valve. We have a tank isolation valve and a slow fill valve. So once he opened up his slow discharge valve, he's just going to allow the pump to pump and to make sure that it's cycling correctly and nothing sounds abnormal about it. So once we have this cycling, we're going to crank our regulator on up. Generally what we strive for is 100 PSI. That's really where you're going to get your best test results at. However, if your site only allows you to get 80 PSI, that's fine, but we recommend at least 80. So our goal here, what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to turn our slow discharge valve down, and we're going to try to match the PSI that is on our incoming, on our regulator. So now that we have everything matched up and we can see that our gauges are matched up, we have 100 PSI coming in, we have 100 on our slow discharge. We're waiting for that 20-second fill time. And basically what we're going to simulate here, we're just simulating head pressure on the pump. So if you had your pump in the well and you had an excessive head pressure on your force main that you were pumping against, this basically tests for any leaks, and if it's not cycling, it'll let you know. So if you do have that scenario in your site. So our next test is, we're just going to open this back up slowly, and we're just going to let the pump cycle a couple times, and our next test is going to be testing for slow fill. So same situation here, we're just simulating a pump that's in a well that might just have a very, very slow recharge rate. So we're testing slow fill. So what we're going to wait for, obviously we could set this thing to where it's just trickling in and it's just dripping in, and you can make it take as long as you want to fill. But what we're going to look for here, we're going to close this thing off to where we're actually getting a 20 to 40 second fill time, and that'll just kind of, if anything's going to go wrong right then, it's the water level is rising slow enough to, it's going to point out anything and going to bring it to our attention if anything's wrong. So now we've tested this, we're just going to open this valve back up. And then we're just going to make sure that the pump cycles normally again. And then we're just going to basically deadhead the pump. And what we're going to do when we deadhead the pump, he's going to look in there, and if he sees any air ingression that's coming in there, because basically, like I said, we have it deadhead, so we have compressed air going to it. So any leaks in the O-rings or the valves or anything that might be happening, we're going to be able to see it just by taking a peek over here and looking for air ingression in the actual liquid in the test station. And we can actually lift this up and we can just set it here. We still have the pump deadhead. We still have 100 PSI going to the pump. And we're just going to inspect this bottom check valve and inspect for any leaks that might be going on here. And that's just another precaution that you can take, another test you can do to ensure that everything's set correctly. Once that, guys, it's just draining it back in your tube and taking your fat spits off, and you're ready to go. Thanks for watching. Let us know if you have any questions.